more sustainable. Be more sustainable. Be more sustainable. Be more sustainable. Be more sustainable.
Hi everyone, in this video I will talk about the meaning of sustainability, the different opinions that people have regarding it, also the criticism that it gets, and why we really should be more sustainable. What does sustainability really mean? In order to figure out what the heck sustainability means, I have chosen 3 short definitions that I found online. The first one is, of course, from Wikipedia. It goes, sustainability is the ability to exist constantly. This one is quite straightforward. Something sustainable can exist for a very long time. In extreme sense, it can exist until forever. Like one of the world's first light bulbs, a Nokia phone battery, and even the Backstreet Boys. The second definition that I found online was from Investopedia.com. It goes, sustainability focuses on meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their needs. The concept of sustainability is composed of 3 pillars: economic, environmental, and social. Informally known also as profits, planet, and people. So I really like that one because it also focuses on the present and giving what is needed and mentioning even who's affected by it. I think it's very important. Okay, I'll just talk about it later. Now, the third definition that I found is from the renowned McGill University of Canada. It says, sustainability means meeting our own needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. In addition to natural resources, we also need social and economic resources. Sustainability is not just environmentalism. Embedded in most definitions of sustainability, we also find concerns for social equity and economic development. I think that definition is even more precise than the one before. It points out that sustainability is not just environmentalism, although many times can be portrayed like that. Now, those were 3 definitions for sustainability. I don't prefer one over the other, but I like the last one that pointed out that it's not just about environmentalism. But please go out and also make your own research, because in the end, it doesn't matter how others define sustainability, but how you define it for yourself. In the next chapter, I want to talk about criticism that sustainability and the term also sustainability development gets. One of the main points of criticism is that there are different interpretations of what a sustainable world looks like and what the priorities for this sustainable world are. For example, on one hand, there are people for which a certain religion is the best way to sustainability. On the other hand, there are the ones that see religion as one of the main evil forces. Another point of criticism is that some call the term too loose because it is obvious that everybody would like a sustainable world.
Duh.
The third point of criticism is that it's very hard to measure what the desired situation looks like. How do we know that we have arrived at a sustainable state? Is it a certain amount of trees, or is it less carbon emissions? We don't know that. Some people even go so far as to argue that the word itself or the term is dangerous, as often we are unaware of the consequences that we cause until much later in the future. Take, for example, the case of the insecticide DDT. DDT was used in the Second World War to reduce malaria and typhus infections among soldiers. After the war, it was used in many American households as a pesticide. I mean, come on, the guy who discovered the potential of DDT even received a Nobel Prize. However, decades later, it was found out that DDT could cause cancer and threaten wildlife. Now, I think that is a story of where humanity was kind of wrong with their predictions. Another very important and interesting point of criticism is that sustainability takes human needs over environmental needs, and it just focuses on the well-being of human beings. Another argument against sustainability, as in many cases, that companies might jump on the bandwagon for sustainability, but actually aren't sustainable. Take, for example, the labeling of non-organic food as being organic and sell it at a lower price. That creates a very tough competition for companies that really sell organic foods. The last argument against sustainability that I will mention here is that the term sustainable development could be seen as an oxymoron itself. Because some people might argue that if we develop even further, we might harm the environment, planet, the wildlife even more than we are right now. So how can this be sustainable? Where there's other people who say, of course, development is the only reason and the only chance we can be more sustainable. So that's definitely an argument that people are discussing about. I think we can all agree that sustainability is very important. I believe that most of us want our future generations' needs to be fulfilled, no matter on what political spectrum you see yourself. But how will we do that is the very difficult question here. Of course, I am against large companies labeling their foods as organic when in fact they're not. There has to be a legal standard for such things, which fortunately exists in some countries. But companies like these may give the term sustainability or sustainable a bad taste and make it harder for institutions or organizations that really support it. However, as easy it is to point out bad players in the game, it is difficult to define what the ultimate goal is. Sustainability and sustainable development tries to create a just world where the economy, the people, and the planet are in balance. But the terms just and balance can mean very different things for very different people and decision makers. That's what makes measuring sustainability also so complicated, because it may be too subjective or sentimental. I also criticize that the word is many times too human-centric, as if our and our future generations' needs matter more than others, like the animals, for example. That also makes this term sustainable development quite complicated, because sometimes more development could cause more harm than good. For example, some people argue that more development in medical science saves more lives, which could cause overpopulation and further destroy our planet. Others argue that prioritizing human needs for meaningful work and life will eventually bring about a balance of all the three areas: economy, environment, and people. At the end of the day, sustainability or sustainable development is just a word or a term. How we implement it depends on us. There's still a lot of research that everybody has to do. I mean, when writing this video, I myself had to think hard about what a world in balance, a sustainable world, would mean to me. For me, I figured out that the protection of the environment and wildlife is very important to me, because we need it, and because I think we owe it. But I also think that we can be happy human beings at the same time, and instead of making sacrifices for a more sustainable world, we just have to change how and what we consume. Now I told you what I think of sustainability, but come on, man, there's still so much that I need to do and change in my life so I meet my own standards. It's definitely a challenge, but I like it. And I hope that you can also challenge yourself. Think about it. This challenge is not only for you, but also for others.
If you want to know how to reduce your carbon emissions, please subscribe to this channel. Also, if you want to know if I've uploaded a new video, please click the notification bell. If you do that, I will eat a full spoon of hot chili sauce. You don't believe me? Well, let me get that. Ooh, fuck. Come on, subscribe. Click the notification bell. You've done that? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Fuck. Fuck.